Before buyers fall in love with your home, they fall in love with your photos. And if your home doesn't stop the scroll, you could be leaving tens of thousands of dollars on the table. I'm Diane Planidin with eXp Realty, and today I'm sharing 10 high impact steps to get your home ready to sell for top dollar, including the designer secrets most sellers never get told. If you want the full checklist, check the show notes and there's a download link there. So you don't have to take any notes, especially if you're driving. Let's go. In many years helping clients buy and sell properties, I've learned this one truth. How you live in a home is not how you sell a home. There's an emotional science behind what makes a buyer feel connected. And that connection is what creates competitive offers. So let's go with tip number one, staging, the wealth multiplier. Staging is not decorating, it's strategy. Staged homes sell 78% faster. Every dollar that you put into staging returns 20-fold. Buyers scroll fast. Your photos must instantly capture desire. And in luxury markets, especially, staging is what transforms a home from nice to irresistible. And I know people are not buying your furniture, but we're full of distractions, and that's what we notice. We notice how it's decorated. Number two, depersonalize. Yes, create a clean canvas. People want to be able to walk in and imagine themselves living there. And this is the hardest step for most sellers, but it's also one of the more important ones, especially during the photo shoot. And I'll link the episode I did about photos as well. But a few quick tips: family photos, children's names on walls, awards, diplomas, religious items. Yes, true story. I had a client, we were out house hunting, and if there was anything religious, and it wasn't because of their faith, but if there was anything religious, the house was a no, like a straight out no. It's a vibe you're creating here. Okay, so a couple more things. Anything political, political books, for example, always tuck those away. Pet toys, crates, bowls. I know our little fur babies, we loved them, loved them, loved them. But all signs of children and pets, I mean, of course, children have their bedrooms, and that's not what I'm talking about. I'm just saying all signs of children's and pets in the living space. So I'll get more detail on that in a minute. Buyers need to imagine their life, not yours. Depersonalizing creates emotional neutrality, and that's powerful. Number three, declutter. Yikes. The 30% rule. Well, it depends on how much stuff you have, right? Try and remove at least 30% of your stuff. Declutter. Clear kitchen counters. Nothing on the kitchen counters except for the necessities. That's it. Clear your nightstands, your bureaus, and any open shelving you have. If it doesn't make sense for that room, remove it. And if you have extra furniture that you've been meaning to get rid of, now's the time. And there is a little feng shui rule of three for decor, for groupings. So think about that as well. And if you're not using something daily and you are actually ready to move, pack it. Just pack it now. Put a label on the box and you're good to go. Number four, textiles. Think boutique hotel. Buyers associate minimal, clean textiles with luxury. Use, and I mean this one verbatim, white towels. Think spa, neutral bedding. Just keep it neutral. I understand the kid wants to have a mermaid bed or whatever, that's different. We're talking about the overall living space. Neutrality is really quite important. Although I do like a nice wallpaper now and then, but that's another story. And if you have any throw pillows, keep those neutral. I mean, you can have different textures, but not every color in the rainbow. And one big thing I always do, especially not only for photos, but for showings, remove the bathroom rugs. Remove mats in your kitchen, in your laundry room, and remove the scales. For some reason, people don't like to see a scale in the bathroom. But these tiny little details, and think about the bathroom scale, all of a sudden moves a person from thinking lived in to high end. Oh, somebody does live here. Look at that scale. Little things like that. It triggers humans. Don't ask me why, but it does. Tip number 5, the designer rule. The main color in your living room, for example, is the wall color. So what's cohesive with it? And this is where neutrals get really fun because then your secondary color is now your furniture. So what do you want that vibe to feel like? And then there's your artwork and pillows, and we talked about throws. Neutral wins every time. It means it feels cleaner, brighter, and more luxurious on camera. So really think hard about that because I'm not asking you to go out and spend a schwackadoodle of money. But what I am asking you to do is maybe that personalized pillow that the grandchildren made you for your anniversary, personal and not a cohesive pillow. So there's 2 reasons to just put that treasure away. Tip number 6. This one's an interesting one. Plants, mirrors, and lighting. The big 3. These 3 elements make rooms feel bigger, brighter, and more alive. Mm. Add a plant. Add a plant to any room you want. People actually like that. As long as they're not scraggly plants that you haven't watered in, 3 weeks. And mirrors. Add mirrors to reflect light and expand space. I once had a property that didn't have the right size windows in the basement. They're called egress. So essentially, if there was a fire, a human could get out, a firefighter could get in, that size window. What we did, literally what we did, is we bought 2 huge mirrors at IKEA, so not expensive, and we hung them at the back of the wall. Nobody even noticed the tiny window. It just popped. It just opened the space up so much. It actually had a really nice vibe to it. So, and remember, lighting is so important, right? When I said plants, mirrors, lighting, 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 lighting. If it's dark, it's not going to show well. It's not going to photograph well. If there's dark corners, if there's burnt out bulbs, oh my gosh, change the light bulb. Light is an emotion, and emotion sells. Tip number 7, deep clean, like you're in a luxury hotel. Buyers will forgive dated, think pink bathtub that can be painted. Yes, you can paint your bathtub, but they do not forgive dirty. Like I showed, and I'm not even lying about this, I'm not even exaggerating about this. I showed a $2 million property, and the place was filthy. It hadn't looked like they'd cleaned in a million years. They had pets, they had cats, they had dogs, they had kids. No thanks. It put my buyers off like immediately. Immediately. And I'm not saying you have to be the Four Seasons, but wash the windows. People want to look out the windows. People look very closely at windows, by the way. They want to see, how old is that window? Clean the baseboards, clean the vents and the light switches, especially if you have pets. Clean those vents. steam clean the carpets and remove all those little baby fingerprints on every door and doorknob. And then polish polish anything that shines. Like think faucets, think hardware. When a home is spotless, it signals, hmm, it might be dated, but this home is well cared for. Every surface item makes such a difference. Tip number 8. This is a toughie because it really depends on the property, but we're going to go with a detached house in this example. Exterior and curb appeal. The decision to buy or not to buy is often made before they even walk in. I have one rule when I'm out showing property. If my clients do not even want to get out of the car because they're like, did you see that? No, they don't have to. I'll go inside, I'll put my card on the table and say thank you very much. But it's so important that people feel comfortable the moment they drive up. So trim your landscaping, depending on the time of year, right? Eh, Get rid of any dead plants, add fresh mulch, love mulch, and clean the walkways. If it's snowing out, I mean, in the wintertime, I literally carry a shovel with me because I come across so many properties that don't even clear the walkway. So, how are you going to get in the house, right? If need be, paint the front door. A fresh coat of paint. Make sure you get the correct paint for your door. Most exterior doors are made of metal, at least here in Canada. Update exterior lighting if possible. Or if your lighting is dated, get a can of paint out. Neutral, neutral, neutral. So easy to do. And the big thing that people really, it bugs people, okay? Remove anything outdoors that's cluttery. And I'm talking tools, I'm talking wheelbarrows, talking toys, hoses should be wrapped up nicely. As long as it's neat, then it'll be great. People just want neat and tidy. That's all. Because if they can't see what you're selling, then you can't sell it to them because they can't look past that. They can't look past it. And by all means, when your realtor does photographs, look at the photographs online. Take a moment to see your property on how it's being marketed online. Because if there's one shot that you don't like and you're not comfortable showing your, oh, I don't know, closet, let's say, which I think is a super no no, tell them to take it off. But if your closet looks like it was designed by a glamazon, by all means, share your beautiful walk in closet, but not your messy clothes and stuff like that. Tip number 9, furniture placement and room function. Now, this might sound a little obvious, but every room must have a clear purpose. If you have an office, keep it as an office and not the dog's beanbag on the side or the kid's piano and, things like that. So avoid oversized furniture. Add an area rug, but a large one. If you're going to do one, do a large one. A tiny one just doesn't make sense. Think conversational zones, right? Would I like to just sit down here and have a chat, right? Make sure you can move easily through the space. And the whole reason behind that is because when people walk in, they don't want to walk directly into the living room to the back of your chair. They want to see the open space. And so that's what I mean. Like don't block things. There has to be a little flow. Think, if I had to walk through here, is there anything obstructing me? Because when buyers understand how to live in a room, they connect to it emotionally. And tip number 10, if your realtor is not going to be there to help you prep for a showing, be ready. Think, what if I only had 10 minutes to get ready? I mean, obviously, we like to give as much advance notice as possible, but sometimes things pop up. And I literally had that scenario happen. And the showing agent and her clients declined the showing. but it was because we were driving by and it was a new listing and it wasn't online this morning. And now we saw a sign. So we didn't see the house, unfortunately. They weren't ready, but that's okay because that's their decision, right? But when your realtor calls you, be ready. You know what you have to do. Here's the drill. Make sure all the lights are on. Open all the blinds. Natural light, natural light, natural light. Clear the counters. Straighten the beds. And hide hide clutter where you want. Ideally, not shoved in a closet because sometimes people do open closets. So just watch for that. Um, don't leave the TV on. Don't have any distractions. If there is maybe a little background music, not the end of the world, but I think silence is more golden than having additional noise because you don't know their preference in music, right? And smell. Think about how your house smells. Sometimes you can just get a diffuser, let it naturally air. Depending on the time of year, you could leave a window open upstairs or something and be ready that if you're going to accept the showing, pick up the toys, pick up the pet items, pick up your shoes, pick up the socks, and leave the house. Leave the house. Buyers cannot imagine your home as their home if you're home. Let me say that again. Buyers cannot imagine your home as their home if you're home. Get out. Get out of the house. I'm going to say there's some exceptions if you are not capable, if you are a senior and you're nervous and you want to stay in your house. People get that, but they don't want to come and look at a house and you're doing dishes and the kids watching video games or whatever. It doesn't take long. That's an important part. And tip number 10, if you feel something needs upgrading, definitely do it before your house goes on the market. Number one obvious one that always pays you back is the kitchen. Not saying you have to put in all new countertops, but refresh, clean, or paint, tidy up. New hardware, inexpensive. Do you need new lighting? And how's that faucet? Is it working? Things like that. Bathrooms, kitchens, bathrooms. So important. Make sure you have a nice mirror, good lighting. Also, nice fixtures. Not expensive to do, but it's new, so it looks good. Fresh paint, of course, light, neutral, depending on the age of your property. And blinds. Did I mention everybody looks at the windows? Yes, they look at the windows. How old are the windows? Are they vinyl windows? Are they wood windows? Are they two pane, three pane, single pane? People are obsessed with windows. Get rid of those dingy blinds. They're not doing you any favors. And update the landscaping. You don't need a full like on landscaping project, but just make sure it looks good. In reverse of this, what you should not do, in my opinion, is change the flooring. People want what they want. And if you have hardwood floor and it's 40 years old and you think, ooh, that looks awful, don't replace it. Leave it or refinish it. Because maybe in that room where there's hardwood flooring that you love, somebody else wants a carpet, and vice versa. So think, clean those carpets, clean those floors, and by all means, clean, clean, clean. Absolutely. So you do not need to fully renovate to have a little bit higher impact. Preparing your home the luxury way isn't about spending more. It's about being strategic. A few thoughtful choices can completely transform how buyers see, feel, and value your home. Do us a gracious favor and subscribe to the channel and give us maybe a thumbs up. I'll be sharing more and more tips, but if there's some specific question you have, absolutely drop a question in the comments on YouTube channel and I would love to get back to you. And if you're considering selling, I'm Diane Planidin with eXp Realty. I'd love to guide you through the process from strategy to staging to sold because there's no place like home. I'll see you soon.